So here's the first thing. Don't think about it, don't talk about it, live it. I want all of you to live focused. When you get a recipe and you're working to make something up, the recipe has a focus. It tells you exactly what you're going to produce, how much of it, how long it's going to take. It gives you all the details. It's making everything that's important at the top of your mind. I got a good friend who studies the brain. His name is Dr. Q, or they call him Coach Q. But Coach Q tells me this. He goes, Frank, whatever you focus on, your brain will 10 times it, whether it's positive or negative. So when we step into a kitchen, if we never cooked before, what are we thinking about? What we want. And don't we usually produce what we want? But many of us will start saying what we don't want, and the brain doesn't understand the difference between yes and no. It just understands what you're focusing on. So no one ever steps in the kitchen going, hey, I hope I'm going to burn the house down. We talk about what we're going to go do. So you have to ask yourself, what's at the top of your mind? What's important? Because where your mind goes, your body will follow. So you got to live focused. So every day, think about what's the focus? What do you want? And more importantly, be unapologetic with it. Is anybody here, by a show of hands, is there some food that you like to eat that everybody looks at you and goes, ugh? Mm-hmm. Guess what? If we were to go out and eat right now and we all had different meals, do we care? We go, hey, are you happy? Yeah. But it's funny, in our lives and our careers, we're worried about what other people think. But when it comes to food, we don't care. Let's be unapologetic. Live focused. Now from there, I need you to live resourceful. So when I say resourceful people think about what they do have versus what they don't. So if all in our kitchen right now we're trying to cook something and we don't have the ingredients, what do? We find a substitute. Buy it. What else? Improvise. I keep hearing DoorDash. Instacart. So do you see what happened there? All of you are focused more on the solution than the problem. Do any of us here do that? We focus more on the problem first than the solution? Anybody can point out the problem, but special people, amazing people, find the solution. Anybody who ever cooks, all they're focused on is the solution, not the problem. So resourceful people are thinking about what they can do. What do I have? Who do I have? I mean, if you look around this room right now, this is a room full of resources. These are human resources. You may not have the answer to the question, but I bet there's somebody in this room who has the answer to that question. You've got less than 12 hours left at this conference, and the question is, how many people have you connected with? Have you built any relationships? Because there's going to be that point where we struggle with something, and anybody, when you cook something you're struggling, do you call your mom or your dad or your friend who's cooked it before to ask them for advice on how to produce it? If we come to these conferences and we don't connect and network, then we're not taking full advantage of the conference. So you've got about 12 hours here to still go out and meet some new people. And when you have those struggles back, when you get to work into your office, you can call them up and say, hey, I'm having this struggle. And they go, hey, don't worry. And they can share with you what the Instacart is or what the substitution is, or say, hey, you know what? You don't even need that because it's not going to mess up the flavor. You're one click, swipe, or handshake away from getting the results that you want when you live resourceful. But after we live focused and resourceful, we got to get enthusiastic, everybody. And the thing is, at the bottom of the screen, I love it. It says right there, the emotion of the result must be stronger than the emotion of the work. Our brain is designed to manage our energy. And if it looks like it's going to take a lot of energy or work or hard, we take our way around it because the brain's there to take care of you. So a lot of times we got to give ourselves that dopamine hit to trick ourselves. Has anybody here gotten super motivated right before vacation? Where for months you talk about what you're going to go do, you don't do it, but the night before, trash is out, bills are paid, house is clean, you're off the grid. That's excitement. You have to figure out with you what excites you, because the work will never excite us. But maybe the person where you help fix their smile. You help them with their insurance. They didn't think that they had an opportunity to come and work with you. Doesn't that excite you? I mean, can you think of those names right now? I see some people smiling. You also have to recognize within our offices, there are different generations that are there. This is what excites me. That's my wife, Kelly. That's Elijah, and that's Olivia. The work that I do when I travel around the country, being on planes, being in airports, knowing that I get to take care of my family, that excites me. But that's what excites me. everybody's got something different. If you look here, these are the different generations that we're going to have in our workforce. You will probably see yourself there also. If you notice, everybody has a different thing that excites them. So many times we'll say, why doesn't that excite them? So somebody might say, hey, guess what? I saw it out there. There's like the Nutter Butter bar, but people didn't grab that. They grabbed the Dove bar. Some people grabbed two. I heard some people go, well, what happened to the M&Ms from yesterday? Everybody had a different excitement piece. Some of you were eating healthy. You went over there to the bananas and the apples and the oranges. But what excites you? Now, if this chart excites you and you'd like more like this, my friend Lisa Miller puts these together. And every Friday, she drops a different chart like this so you can better understand the people that you're working with, leading, and trying to motivate. Because when we cook, don't we always ask people, it's like, what do you like? What can I offer to change it up? And when they start nodding their head and smiling like you're excited, like they liked it. Well, we need to understand not only ourselves, but the people that we work with. So with this QR code right here, she doesn't spam you or anything like that. If you get this QR code, every Friday, you'll have a chart like that dropped into your email box with a video. And this will allow you to better understand yourself, to see what motivates and excites you, but more importantly, the people that you work with. Whether it be your clients or your patients, or your coworkers, or for your clients. What are you going to do? So now we've lived focused, resourceful, enthusiastic. We're excited, but guess what, everybody? Anything we go for, it takes work. We got to live strong. And when I say strong, we have to live mentally strong. You got to ask yourself, what are you feeding your brain? You can be honest. I'll just let you clap. You can clap under the table. How many people here have doom scrolled on your phones? Mm-hmm. You get on there, and all of a sudden, TV also, and 2 hours disappears, like it becomes into a time machine. You're like, where did the time go? Could you have used that same time to listen to an audiobook, read a book, go exercise, build a new relationship? You have to ask yourself, what are you doing to feed your brain? What are you doing to fuel your fire? For me, I love to bring out or connect with, I call them my taste testers. Has anybody ever cooked something and you get somebody in your house who's your taste tester? You tell them exactly the result that you want, you ask them to try it, and they say too sweet, too salty, just right? We're willing to listen to these people because these people we trust. They're willing to tell us what we need to hear, not what we want to hear. I encourage you to go put together a group of whether it be coaches, mentors, or accountability partners. Call them your taste testers. Like right now in this room, I've got 3 of my taste testers in the room. They're 3 professional speakers who I'm in a mastermind with. And they're here not only to support me, but to provide me feedback the next time that we work together. Who are you surrounding yourself with? People who are fueling that fire or pouring water on it? You got to spend time with other chefs. And that's what I choose to do. You got to do the same. And after you do that one, here's the last one, everybody. Oh, and speaking of mentally strong, I need a big round of applause. Some people may be in the room. We had some speakers who are here with us today for the last 2 days, helping you out, helping to feed your mind. Can we give all the speakers who are up there on that screen a big round of applause? And I'm not sure if they are in the room, but if they are in the room, could you just please hold your hands up right now? Anybody who's done a presentation the last 2 days? Let's go ahead and hold those hands up. Okay, I see a few going up there. Thank you so much. But yeah, just thank you for the work that you do. But once we live mentally strong, everybody, we've got to live honest. And not only honest with the people around us, but honest with ourselves. Because many times we will self-justify why we don't go for something. Has anybody here talked about you're too old, you're too young, you've got too much money, you got not enough money, you haven't been here long enough, you don't have enough experience? When we don't want to get hurt, we will talk ourselves out of something. If you look at the screen right now, it says, hey, you need to stop doing these things. I mean, many of us, anybody here ever lied to themselves of why you can't do something? Right, because if you don't go for it, you can't get hurt. Has anybody here cared? And when I say cared, you valued the opinion of somebody who doesn't value you. Mm-hmm. We'll have a husband, a wife, a spouse, a best friend, a mentor go, you're amazing. Oh, you're supposed to say that. And we're trying to get this approval from other people. But shouldn't we care about the people who care about us? I mean, I've got a bright green suit on, thanks to Blue. So Blue, I don't know if she's still in the room, she's like, hey, Frank, could you wear the bright green suit? I'm like, sure. I value her opinion. But if somebody else saw me wearing it and goes, I don't like that, Okay, who cares? My wife and daughter picked this out. So as long as they're happy, I'm good. If I walk to the door and they go, you're wearing that? I'm changing. So you got to ask yourself who you're surrounding yourself with. And then the most important one is you got to stop waiting. Because waiting, write this down. Waiting means you wish an idea turns out. I'll say it one more time. You wish an idea turns out. Many of us will wish and hope, and that means you're being passive. The meal doesn't cook itself, does it? Either you've got to cook it or somebody else has to cook it. And if someone else has got to cook it, you still got to go into the app. You still got to pick up the phone to put in the order. Action must be taken. We've got to understand that everything takes time. Even though we're in this Instapot or microwave generation, some of the best cooked meals, clap for this one, are the slow cooked ones. Mm-hmm. It's taken me 20 years to get on this stage with you. This summer will be 20 years of professional speaking. Yeah, I mean, I can't believe that one right there. So the idea is, when you want to succeed at something, you have to ask questions. You have to always seek knowledge. All right? The more questions you ask, the closer you get to that success that you want. When you're in the workshops, the trainings, in the hallways, are you asking questions? Because when you're asking questions, you're showing that you care about your dream, your aspiration. Because if you're afraid to share your dream, then you're afraid to live it. And that's what happens to many of us. But I said, if you take that kitchen inspiration, even if you've never made cupcakes before, you'll tell people like, I'm going to make these killer cupcakes or killer ribs or barbecue, right? We've been there. And 9 times out of 10, don't you make it happen? Because all you're thinking about is what you can do. And the reason you focus and do this is you're focused on who you serve. You got to ask yourself right now, who are you serving? Because it's one thing to cook or think about ourselves, but isn't something completely different when we're cooking and focusing on somebody else? I showed you that picture earlier of me on the stage in front of all my colleagues. That was a great picture. But the most impactful picture for me is this one right now. This is my son Elijah. And Elijah has been here since the day I started speaking. And Elijah was always asking, Dad, do I get to go? Because they'd drop me off at the airport, and then Dad would go in and they'd go home. So when I got the phone call saying, Frankie, you're CSP, his first question was, Dad, do I get to go? And I grew up in a single-family household. My dad wasn't around. So I go, you know what? I want to be a great dad. I want to be present. So I go, yes, you get to go. Now, with my son, he's on the autism spectrum. And part of his autism is, a lot of it has to do with just, his feelings. It deals with, how he copes with things. And he needs to know all the details. That allows him, if he can get all the answers and details, then he's good. So he goes, Dad. I'm like, yep. Do I have to wear a suit? Because he always sees me wear a suit when I go out. I go, yes. He goes, I don't have a suit. So it's like, we'll go get one. So we're like, we go shop for a suit. So we went looking for a suit. We found him a suit. Now, he knows what my closet looks like. He goes, Dad. I'm like, yeah, I got a gray suit. I was like, okay, you got a gray suit. And he looked at his closet like, Dad, I got a pink shirt. You got a pink shirt. Then he called up our friend who runs a clothing business, and he goes, hey, do you still have those matching father-son bow ties? And he ordered them. And for me, I'm always wearing green on stage because green is the color of growth and action, something I want for all the people here in this room. But the day of the conference, my ultimate brand was to be a dad. So as I'm sitting in the room and we're waiting for the ceremony to start, I haven't changed yet. I looked at Kelly, I go, Kelly, I was like, I don't know if we're going to have time to change. I'm like, I didn't know it was going to happen this quick. I was like, I'll just go like this. I was like, we'll just have the kids come down because they were upstairs with my mom. And she goes, Frank, don't be that person you talk about during your speeches. Let's not pour water on Elijah's fire. This is important to him. So we rushed back up to the room, and I changed. And as we're walking down the hall, he's holding my mom's hand. And he's walking down, he's looking up at me, of which this picture's a little old. He's 5'4" now. He's taller than Mom. He's almost as tall as me. And he goes, hey, Dad. I'm like, yeah. They're going to think we're before and after. And understanding that moment now, we all have that in our work. It's one thing to be focused on ourselves, but isn't it more special and amazing when we put a smile on somebody else's face? I mean, show your hands right now. Have any of you worked with somebody, whether it be a coworker, a patient, a client, where they said thank you? or they've smiled, or you've changed their life? Yeah. That's why we do what we do, everybody. It's not about us, it's about others, and we do that. That's when we feel fresh. And that's the recipe I just shared with you. We're living focused, resourceful, enthusiastic, strong, and honest.